Who is Dominic Luongo? Question mark. All right.
Can you do a read loud?
I will, yeah. Okay, so there are multiple individuals named Dominic Luongo. Based on available information, Dominic Luongo, filmmaker, born 1981, Buffalo, New York-based actor, he graduated from UB with a degree in media studies, focusing on film interpretation. Luongo has written, directed, and filmed and edited over 50 commercials, music. This is like this is the the
No, please
IMDb
keep going. Please, 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 please.
the
Anybody ever
time.
get tongue tied? Try to say your last name.
My yeah. Oh, so one time, my sisters and I were in Italy, and we got corrected on the pronunciation of our last name by an
Oh,
old man sitting in the back of a bookshop.
okay. And how did it? How like now you pronounce it the way that like that
Oh, not
joke?
at all. He
Okay.
would be very disappointed.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
so
Cool.
yeah, because we were raised with the three syllables. Yeah, because I think like all three of my names have three syllables. It's very Italian, and Dutch. Uh, but the way this old man pronounced it was Lungo.
Oh, that does feel pretty strong.
It does very way more menacing.
It does feel pretty strong. So wait, is your bio done there or is there more?
There's a little bit more. He's also worked on features such as Couple in the Woods. He previously owned Struck Down Entertainment video production company, Queen City Escape, and Escape Room. His notable acting roles include, but are not limited to, Brevity 2010, Unbelievable 2023. Well, that's a jump
Yeah.
in time,
Yeah.
and Crap Sack Wonderland.
Oh
And
wow,
it
you
says
got
where I
the
work now, but I'm not going to read that.
yeah, you don't have to do that. But wow, you're really known for some things there.
Yeah. And the other
Right
two
there at the end.
Dominics are deceased.
Oh, well, that's sad. I'm sorry for them.
Yeah, that's I don't know them, but I that is sad. Thanks, Grok. Okay, should I ask it who you are, or do you have it pulled up?
I don't have one. I
Yeah,
don't
do you
have
want
one.
me to?
Yeah, do
Oh,
it. I'm
all right.
curious to know
Let's see.
what
Here
it
we go.
says.
Who is Adam Steigert? Steigert?
Yeah, that's right. You're doing great.
Question mark. Okay, here we go. Who is Adam Steigert?
Who is?
It's searching. It's
Okay.
searching.
All right, it's okay. It's all right. At least it's
Oh,
searching. Oh, we got something. We
okay.
got
Here we go.
something.
Okay. Richard?
Yeah, it's my middle name.
Okay. It knows that. Why does it know that?
I used it on my professional thing a few times. Oh, I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
used it on my professional platforms quite a few times.
Okay, get this. In the first paragraph, it describes you. Then in the second paragraph, it points out the connection to Dominic.
Oh, what?
That's wild.
What? Does it say
We're
like
both in
Amos 2 or
Buffalo.
anything?
What?
Does it say anything about like Amos 2 or like how we're connected?
Yeah, it okay, so it says like the whatchamacallit. We're both individuals based in Buffalo, filmmakers, connected projects, Ambis 2. How does
Wow.
it know this?
Oh
That's on
God.
IMDb though, right?
Well, yeah. Maybe that's where it's sourcing it.
It's got to be. So yeah,
Yeah.
so Adam R. Steigert, born December 31st, 1986, American filmmaker from Hamburg, New York, known for his work in the horror and sci-fi genres. He co-founded Buffalo-based production company Deftone Pictures,
Oh,
and then what you
sorry. I
call it
mean,
later.
I didn't mean to get you off topic there.
No, no. Later established 388 Studios. Steigert is recognized for his creative approach to filmmaking, often described as a magician for innovative use of special effects and storytelling. His notable films include Ombus Alien Invasion 2013, Prisoners of the Dead 2011, and A Grim Becoming 2014.
It's all the early stuff.
It's weird, yeah.
It doesn't, it doesn't care about Fang or them or Grim or all the other ones or Ambas 2 yet. Well, I think Ambas 2's
Yeah.
star meter is better on IMDb, so we'll see where that goes.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah. So, lastly, it does say that you could see your works on platforms such as Netflix, HBO Max, and Amazon Prime. Is
Okay,
that right?
what? Riddle me this, sir. Only one of those is correct. Which one do you think it is? I
What do you, the viewers at home, think?
will
And then
tell
it
you
mentions
this.
Kristen.
Oh, 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 oh. I
Yeah, it
just,
says
yeah.
he is married to producer and casting director Kristen Steigert, who has
Oh, she'll like
spoken on
this.
panels. Oh, what?
Yeah, she'll like this. Keep going.
That's it. She's spoken on panels about directing, distribution, and filmmaking. So,
I
yeah,
wonder.
very
Wow.
nice. Thanks,
That is
AI.
actually pretty nice. That's
Yeah,
just
that was.
That's what,
What?
computer generated, or that's the AI?
Yeah, that's the AI. We could just ask it who we are.
Oh,
Apparently, other
wow.
people can too, because it has no idea that I'm the one asking. So,
Wow.
right? It's
Wow.
wild.
It is
It's
insane, man. Um, well, now that we got the introductions out of the way,
Is anybody still with us?
yes, right?
Hmm.
I gotta tell you,
This I
um, well, let's just put it out there. How we know each other, how we've probably met, I think, was through Sarah, your wife,
I
correct?
imagine so. Yeah, like that's a good question. When did we first meet?
Because I feel like I remember seeing you at a premiere for one of the films. I assume Ambus, maybe, or maybe not.
Yeah, because I remember going to a
Prisoner?
couple of your
No, not
premieres.
prisoners.
Ambus was one of them. Final Night and Day, I was at that one. Um,
Oh, lucky you, Badger, man.
that was a packed house.
I know. We
Like
sold two shows out of 600 people, man.
that's incredible. My friend, Rick Kleinsmith, he's a producer over in Los Angeles. He was the one who had called. I remember him calling me and being like, "You've got to check these guys out, like this guy who's making movies out in Hamburg." He's like, "Cause you're in Angola." I'm saying names of towns that no one has any idea what I'm talking about, but um, he's like, "You have to go and you have to check this out." And that's how I ended up at the premiere,
All right, that's cool. So,
right? Yeah,
were you in any fashion connected in any way to seeing shoot in this like the village there of Angola or no?
yeah. While you were shooting Ombus, I swung by to visit Sarah and just like kind of like hung out on the sidelines and watched it happen. I remember thinking, I'm like, this is like you had like the cars flipped over, you had like just so many like cast and crews all over the street. I just remember thinking, I'm like, this is like this is legit.
There's
That
a
was the only time I think I was on set until Ombus 2. So I've only ever been on the Ombus sets.
Yeah, well, we spoiler alert to everybody out there, your character does survive and becomes the new general. He could become the new general. Or
I,
maybe
uh,
or maybe he doesn't become a new general because your character does get killed off. I don't know.
oh yeah, he gets killed in the post-credit scene.
Yeah, it's the last shot of him. You think it's over and everybody's getting up, the lights go back down, and it's just it's a quick one. Um dude, really I showed Jordan Lima some of it, just to get some kind of like professional feedback. Um,
Yeah,
Somebody that has not seen any of that. And he gave me something I actually quoted him saying. So it's crazy
really.
how, oh yeah. Yeah, he saw a good chunk of the film, I would say. And he did see some stuff that you like is really still in structure phase, but he
Yeah,
saw also a lot of completed work. So there's more done than not done, but it's looking really good. It's looking real
nice.
good. It's looking real good. Um, but yeah, so that's how, wow, man, all the way back then.
Yeah, what year was that? We don't need to.
Was it
Yeah, we don't need to dwell on that.
2013?
Oh yeah, we just established that.
Yeah.
Um, Man, yeah. So, what was I going to ask you? Oh, never mind. I was just going to comment, yeah, because I saw your post, I think in the group that you mentioned you were connecting chunks, and I got excited when I saw that. I was like
Oh
that's
man,
a
I'm
good
so
sign.
close. I'm so close right now of connecting like a full like almost an hour of footage, and then I have another cut that's like still that has to be added into that too, which is like another 40 or so minutes. So I it's
Man,
gonna be cut down a little bit
yeah,
to like an hour and 20, but yeah, I'm close on connecting that too. So
man, it's so much work. Like it's
yeah.
like because you think about like you're doing how many different departments' jobs,
Yeah.
like from soup to nuts. Like right now, even like in post, it's still
Yeah.
like a bunch of different like it would be the editor, then it would be the colorist and the effects
The
and
matting
sound
painter and
design.
all that. It's
Yeah,
just
like all of that. It's like
I really did enjoy making this film. I'm glad you were a part of it. I'm glad you came out of retirement and you dusted your pants off. You got out and you said, "Hey, I'm gonna do this thing."
I'm
Um,
glad too, because yeah, it's been like a long time our paths to like cross like on a set, and
yeah,
I'm glad it was for this one.
yeah. Oh man, we had like your wardrobe in there too is so like authentic.
That was so
Uh,
good. Yeah.
I do know that there is a shot where the one outfit looks like your pin was starting to come off.
Oh,
So because we couldn't, what did we do? We didn't, was it not Velcroed or something?
I don't remember. Yeah, I think everything was pinned, and
You
I
don't see
think
it in the
no,
film, but
yeah, like it was like the gaff tape was starting to give.
oh,
I also got to give a shout out to Alex because I mean, like being in the wardrobe really made me feel like in that role, but then having him kind of coach me on how to stand and how to behave, having actually served himself, like was very beneficial. It was,
yeah. Well, you guys have a good rapport too. You work
oh
together on
yeah,
other sets. And when you
yeah,
have a
we had
good,
that. Oh,
yeah, go
because
ahead.
we had a public access show years ago.
What?
Yeah, wait, has he never told you about this?
No, he never told me about this. Talk to me about this. What is this that we're
It,
talking
it,
about?
yeah, it's artificially inflated when I say we had a public access show. We had the time slot, and we aired a total of one episodes. Uh,
Wow. Well,
it,
hey.
yeah, it was called the Grotesque Discotheque. Uh, so bad.
Listen, I quite enjoy your deep dives into like when you and Sarah doing the deep dives into like the older work I've done. It seems like
Oh,
I
yes.
I don't know if you've ever done the Prisoners of the Dead, but I would very much like to know
Ooh.
the take of that one someday. Put it on your list, but make sure
We,
you
I
get
mean,
the extended cut.
okay, because I will say we have seen each of your movies like at least twice. So
So at
this,
least twice. That makes me feel good. Thanks, man.
so like, we should yeah, we'll just that's an excuse to watch it again. We'll pull the podcast out of retirement and do a rundown of that. Because which one did we do? We did them, right?
I think you definitely did them, and I will tell you what,
Okay.
you cracked me and my wife up so much. Like we literally just were laughing out loud. I think you did another one too. I'm not sure which one that is. Fang, maybe? Maybe Fang?
Maybe Fang.
In a world where Chris Burns sits in his whitey tighties.
Damn, Chris is such a good sport. Like, just he's so committed. Just damn.
Yeah, I don't know if he's told you this story, but he likes to share this story that he got a text late about getting a text late one night asking if he wanted to do a movie in his complete underwear.
No, I didn't
He
hear this.
Yeah, and he responded by saying, "I'll go full nude if you want."
That's our
Yeah.
Christopher.
What was that?
I said that's our Christopher. I
Yes.
was gonna
Oh,
say,
we love
yeah,
him.
the story I heard was whatchamacallit, that he actually put on weight for the role, right? Like he
He claims that, yes. He says that, yes.
okay, yeah. Sorry
And
for this in the middle of the I forgot to clean my lens before we started.
oh,
It looks okay, right?
we're only, 15, 20 minutes into it. It's not a big deal.
Okay.
Oh, dude, it's great to talk to you and to get to know you. Chris Burns and I, we go way back to high school era. We didn't like really
uh,
associate in high school. Like he was a part of Prisoner of the Dead as just a zombie extra because he was into film too.
get
And
out.
yeah, and then he kind of like started hanging out more and more with me and us, the group of us, and he became like my longtime good friend, partner, best man, by the way.
Damn, that's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. He's a good dude. Taught me a lot too, He where I was always the focus of like the video content, the film structure of all this, he has always been the brains behind, distributional elements or contract type deals in the sense of like, sharing
Get out.
non-exclusive rights and all that. So
Yeah.
he knows his stuff. He's doing rather well with that. And
Good for him. That's
yeah.
yeah, I didn't know
Yeah.
that about him. That's really cool.
Yeah, well that's his part. And then my wife, of course, she because we own 388 Studios, she currently does mainly the books, you know.
Oh
Um
yeah. You gotta have the
so
business head. Just
yes. So you got the creative, you got the practical, and you got the technical end, all
yeah.
working together, and it's good rapport.
Does it
Um,
creates the Triforce that you
yeah,
need for a successful film studio.
yes. And you
Like,
know what's not crazy, but ironic.
hmm.
Chris Burns and I, we actually were in Deftone Pictures Studios together too.
Oh, get
So
out. Oh yeah, that makes
yeah.
sense.
So he was me and him, and then obviously my wife uh decided to form this company years ago because Deftone was closing. And so, I said, Burns, hey, come on, man, are you interested? And he said, yeah, and that was the story is history.
That's awesome. And now he also does bit roles on other indie films
He
in the
didn't
area.
do one in Ambus.
Oh, what?
He didn't do one for Ambus.
You're right. He didn't do one for Ambus. I was thinking just doing a quick shout out to Dingus Day.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Do that.
Yeah.
I so wanted to go too, and we were out of the country
I kind of yeah, it's hard to get to the theater when you're
in the middle of the
outside
ocean.
the national. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta escape, man, and sometimes the middle of the ocean is the best place to do it.
Yeah, I can't, man. I gotta hand it to you. I don't know if I could do a cruise. I'm not good on boats.
You know
Just
what? I didn't think I would be able to do them either. But I will say I have grown to be able to do them.
do you
The
get like
small
used to it?
Yeah, like the one I'm referring to right now is like the third biggest ship in the entire world. I almost felt no sway on the entire ship.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Now
Okay.
I've been on another ship that was way smaller and felt
And you
the current, if you will. But the key really is you have to sit in the middle of, not sit in the middle. You have to be in the middle of the boat, generally like fifth or sixth deck, and
okay.
that'll stop like the real like seasickness because when a boat goes, it's like this.
Yeah, so you're
So you're
feeling
really kind of like in the middle of the boat where you're only, you know,
yeah, getting the most on yeah,
right,
on like the edges probably.
right.
That's a good tip. I like yeah.
So if you ever want to go, let my wife know, Kristen Steigert. She'll take care of you, man. She's like a travel agent extraordinaire.
That's Yeah, if it's
She's
a
not really a
boy,
travel
I don't
agent, by
know.
the way.
Is it- Are
She
there any
just,
travel agents anymore? I feel like just it's people go
yeah.
places and occasionally check TripAdvisor while they're there.
That's a good question because I feel like there isn't agents like there used to be. You know, when I was a kid, um, when I was a kid, uh, I uh,
Yeah.
I remember days being much different.
Wait, what does your shirt say? House of Guitars?
Yeah, hmm,
I just noticed this.
yeah,
Where
it's
is
a
that?
house of guitar. This isn't Rochester. My
Oh,
my 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 child uh he worked there for a very short period and Christmas time he got me this shirt and I like it and pink is my favorite color, so I
nice.
just go with it.
It's a good shirt. I love pink. If I had I have these really great sneakers that have a lot of pink in them. If I were here, I would prop them up, but they're not. So why did I bring them up? Yeah, I have not been to the House of Guitars, but I want to go. Do you play? I
No.
forget. Oh man,
I'll karaoke though. I can do that. I can
what's
do a
your
mad
go-to?
karaoke.
What's the
Oh,
go-to
Sweet
karaoke?
Caroline.
Sweet. Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
good
Sweet
one.
Caroline. That is a really good one.
Do people jump in?
Oh, of course they do, because I get the crowd going, man. I get it pumping. You know what I mean? Like, we're raging.
Oh man. Okay, so I don't think there's been a has there been a rap party? Did we miss it?
For what? Oh, Ambas too?
Yeah.
That's a good question, man. I don't think we had a rap party.
If there's
But now you're bringing that up. I don't know.
like
We didn't
yeah, it's
have a rap party.
karaoke. Maybe just karaoke at the screening. Like
Yeah. Oh,
at the
yeah.
beginning while everybody's still filing in, just get the karaoke machine up there.
Jeez, man. I hope you're a good singer. I mean, you're gonna have to bring it. You know what I mean?
We
Do you
actually
play?
to bring I yeah, I could do my go-to karaoke is usually like something like It's Raining Men or like
I mean,
just
that's a good party song.
classics.
Pointer Sisters? Are
It's
you into
very
the
yeah.
Pointer Sisters at all?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
I love the
does my voice register like it would do one of their songs? Like
no. Which makes it
but
even more exciting to see, to be honest with you.
oh yeah, we should yeah. Then there's always karaoke roulette where everybody just kind of like, you know, throws in a song for someone and it's kind of yeah, luck of the draw. But there's a new karaoke game with AI that we started playing. And basically it's a Weird Al game essentially is what it boils down to is you find a song you already know all the words to, so you're not trying to like scramble to like read them, follow the melody. And then you ask the AI to write a parody version of that song for you to follow
Hmm.
along to.
And how's it do?
Really, really well. It's eerie how well it can rewrite like parody lyrics almost immediately. Not as good as Weird Al, but you know, it's a robot.
Wow. Wow, man. It's like where technology is now. Um, you know, using photoreal images, and then putting actors into photoreal images. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and video. Only up to
Yeah,
like
and
five
video. Yeah.
seconds, but still.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. The whatchamacallit? What was the I was watching something the other day. Actually, no, it wasn't no. Okay, so I was watching something the other day. It was entirely AI. However, I'm gonna skip past that and talk about. Have you heard of like city pop, like that brand of music that's all over YouTube?
Yeah. I listen to it pretty often, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's like up there with like the lo-fi stuff and all that. So there's
Yeah.
one. I'll send you the link because I was looking at like the image and listening to the music, and then it hit me that I'm like, oh my gosh, this like it was like almost 3 hours worth of music, all AI generated.
Really?
Then on top of that, it dawned on me that the image that I was looking at was actually also AI generated. Is there where's this getting posted? Are you able to put like links? I'll send you the link so you can see
Yeah, send
the
me the links.
yeah,
It's,
because
it's
it's
gonna
just
be
one of
up
those
pretty
things.
quickly.
Okay, yeah, it's just one of those things where like it hits you and you're like, oh, that kind of snuck up on me. That It's like did not anticipate it to be for me to be that easily fooled by it. What are you gonna do?
Yeah,
I
that's
guess
the
yeah, it's
question.
like yeah,
That's the question. What are you
use
going to do?
use AI detection to detect it.
So I got
Does
to
that
ask you a
work?
question. I got to ask you a
Hmm.
question. Um, how is it like working? I mean, I don't know if you're in a safe spot right now, but how is it? How is it like working with your wife and projects? Because
Hmm.
I find it to be the best thing, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it is my favorite thing. That's yeah, like exactly what you said.
You
Um,
know, it like it's Chris and I come as a package deal when we make movies. We've always like she's been there for so long. But yeah, so it's
that's
like a
awesome.
yin and a yang, just like you guys. You guys do a lot of stuff together.
We do. I mean, yeah, a quick Google search, you'll find all of our YouTube videos that we've done. We just love being creative together. Um, like occasionally we'll get hired independently on certain things, like the commercials and stuff, but occasionally we'll also get cast in the same commercial together. There's one running right now. It's like a car commercial. We'll get like text messages and phone calls occasionally asking us how our Hyundai is. Welcome, Hyundai.
Okay.
That's the drop for you. And so that's always fun, and it's fun to be like on projects together. But yeah, when we were like just getting creative together, coming up with like silly ideas, just laughing our heads off, like writing nonsense down. Then we'll bust out the camera and do some stuff, and then yeah, there's that whole TikTok series that we did. Did you watch any of those?
I actually am no longer on the TikTok, to be honest with you. So I haven't
Oh yeah,
watched
we
anything with
uh
TikTok. Oh yeah, but I did see
yeah.
them. I did see
Okay,
them.
yeah, I was
Yes.
gonna say yeah.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
get echoed on like Facebook and Instagram and all the
They're
socials.
they're so well written.
They're
I don't know sometimes
yeah,
if you just work off one another and just go with it, or it's like
yeah,
you guys are perfect in them.
like yeah, because that's us just sitting around coming up with just stupid nonsense. Like, what if Frankenstein and Dracula had an argument about what to have for breakfast? And we're just like, yeah, that's good. It's
We'll use that idea.
yeah, it's like what if Romeo and Juliet got in a fight about like whose fault it is that they're dead? Like, because
Now
like,
I
and it's just yeah. Go ahead.
yeah. No, no, go ahead. I don't want to interrupt. Go ahead.
Oh no, just like it's just really cool to have someone that you're in love with who's also like very into like being creative, and then that gets to be your life. Like that's I'm not downplaying how lucky that is. That's very 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 lucky.
And it's
Um,
rare. You don't get it too
yeah,
often in filmmaking.
yeah, yeah. You
Um,
really don't.
I
Only
I
other couple that
yeah.
comes to mind is Tim Robbins and Susan Sarandon, I guess.
Oh
Yeah.
wow. Wow.
Just trying to think of
Wow.
other
Like it just
couples.
blew my mind. Like it literally just blew my mind. Um, all right. Well,
Yeah. And you guys,
we're
of course. Yeah.
well, yes, us, but I don't know a lot of other local people that I think have their significant other uh being a part of it, you know? I
Yeah.
have
Oh,
found
Greg and Tamar.
oh yeah, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
See, it's like when
Yeah.
great teams come together, like, you know, two like it's a
Right?
power couple type of thing.
Yes, there we go. That's the phrase I was trying to think of. Exactly. And good things come out of it. Yeah.
Right, right. And the good thing is you know your wife well. So like when you're working a scene, you know how to actually like but I will say there is a downfall. Well, for me,
Mm.
there's a downfall for me because like when I'm directing, like I'm so focused, like I'm like this. And sometimes, you know, it's not that she's behind, but she is just not up to my speed. Like I'm just telling her to do this, and she's like, I can't do all this. I can't do this all. This is too much. You know, like I throw
Yeah.
everything. And then I ask her what, you know, what's wrong, right? And
You're
then
a demanding taskmaster.
yes, I hate to say that, but once we get through all that craziness, she somehow still has footings for me. So applaud her every day I wake up, to be honest with you. What do you think of the Buffalo film community as a whole? Like where it stands, its stability, uh,
It's
personality. Give it to me straight.
okay. So the Buffalo film community has to be one of the most interesting like subcultures of filmmakers since I feel like I'm might be artificially inflating it here to reuse that term, but like since the early New York stuff, like I don't want to say like the French New Wave, but what's fascinating to me is that you don't see like a culture of filmmakers or like movie makers in Buffalo in the same way, or yeah, as the ones in Buffalo as you see in like other cities. Does that make any sense? I'm not making any
Yeah,
sense. Let me try again. Uh, so,
it
um,
does make sense though. I know what you mean.
yeah, like if you were to go to if you just pick a random city on a map, I don't think you would find a similar film scene. And I don't know what to attribute that to. I know we have like a handful of schools that have like film programs. Like we have Fredonia, then we have Canisius, I think, has one, and then obviously UB, where my alma mater, and Buff State, and like there's always some like weird cross pollination between like communications and actual film, and
Mm,
but the people who are taking communications at one college really want to make movies, um,
that's the truth.
and right, and it's like it's interesting because then if you think of like another city, like Rochester is another one. Maybe it's just the Rust Belt, because then I know there's like a pretty good click in like the Ohio area, and then I can't think of another one in the middle of the U.S. until we get to like Albuquerque, and um, but oh, actually, no, wait, I totally missed. There's a guy named
Syracuse
Gino
has
over towards like a little bit, yeah.
a
That's
little
actually
bit, a little bit.
yeah, our former agent Anne Marie of AMS Talent was over in Syracuse. She used to say she would um, pedal the talent up and down the throughway. I don't think she used the word pedal. Promote
Makes
the talent
sense.
on her roster, right?
It
Yeah,
makes
up and down the
sense.
throughway. Um, but yeah, it's one of the yeah, basically it's like one of the most unique subcultures of filmmakers in the continental US that I could think of, where you can just kind of like just actually, you know what? I'm wondering now. I see
Uh-oh.
now. I really want to. Sorry, I have a lot to say on this topic. I
Feel
really
free,
want
man.
to. What?
Go ahead. I'm
I
curious.
what I
That's why I
really
asked.
want to do is see what it looks like from city to city. That would make an amazing documentary. I would love to see, because whenever Sarah and I sit down, I'm going in a bunch of loops. Stop me if you need to, but like whenever Sarah and I sit down to like when we want to watch something, most times we'll be like, let's watch an independent movie. And I'm not talking like A24 independent, which is fine. I'm talking independent. You want to see something unique, you want to hear from a unique voice, some would say artist or whatever. You have to go to like the depths of Tubi and Amazon, even though Amazon started to kick stuff off. Shame on them, because where else are you going to find these movies? Now more and more are getting posted to YouTube, thankfully, because you get like the Polonia brothers, who are actually down in Pennsylvania. So again,
Okay.
we're talking Rust Belt.
Right.
Um, but yeah, like that indie type of movie that like you're just not gonna like get that from anything else. Some people prefer that they're not gonna get that from something else, but we love it. I feel like it's just I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. And some would say an acquired taste,
Very
but
much
that's what
so.
our
And
whole podcast was
expensive.
about. Yeah,
It's
that's the thing. It's like you have these people who like are pouring their blood, sweat, and tears, blood, sweat, and into these projects for no monetary gain,
Yeah,
no fame, no fortune, just for the experience of like making a film and expressing
right.
themselves. And that to me is like something very true and real. And sorry for a second there, it sounded like I was quoting that email that Jonah Hill wrote during,
Okay.
if you remember the Paramount leak. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Um, Look it up. You'll see what I'm talking about.
I do know. I
But
think I do know what you're talking about. And I do know the Paramount League that you're referring to.
yeah, it was I forget if it, I forget what movie it was in reference to. Maybe Jump Street. Um, he referred to it as like something like true and powerful. I don't know.
I don't
He's
know
an
either.
interesting man, Jonah Hill. But
Yeah. I can't tell if I like him or not, to be honest with you.
I've never met him.
No, I haven't met him either, but like
Oh,
in
what's it?
movies, I can't tell if I like his
Oh,
acting style or not.
I love his acting style. I have no idea like who he is as a person. What's his character? Anyway, back to your question though. And again, feel free to
Hmm.
interrupt because I'm going on like a long winding road. But in terms of the like the Buffalo movies, there's a list. I'll post it online for anybody who's watching this who wants to see. But we have seen virtually every single Buffalo feature made by a Buffalo, like some of the movies that were made by people who came to Buffalo, but majority the ones made by people in Buffalo, posted somewhere, whether they were on Amazon Prime, where there was a premiere that we had to go to, that like after that it disappeared into the ether. Um, because there's like some on there. It's like everything from like Brevity to The Dark of the Berry to I'm trying to think of like another like weird
Do you
obscure
do you
one.
find yourself rating them now or not or even leaving remarks?
No, there's I I don't see the point. Okay, we're gonna transition into like criticisms. I do not see the point of rating something, leaving a rating on like unless it's like a product on Amazon and it's like you need to warn people that it's like, hey, it's gonna fall apart in a week. Like that's a useful review. But like in terms of like movies or like even especially like the indie movies, it's like you have to know what you put on. Okay, so when we were doing the podcast, there was one specific reviewer. His handle was Leof Wine Draka. Great handle.
Okay.
And because we started to do this thing where we do like best review, worst review. And whatchamacallit, he would always rate these indie movies that were like watching things like Sharkula and Fungicide. It's like, listen, if you don't know what movie that is when you press play, and you're going to IMDb, you're going to Letterboxd, you're going to Amazon, you're going to Yelp to review this movie, to give it 1 star and complain about it, you are mad. You're a mad person. You're a
I
crazy
feel like you're
person.
sanitizing yourself or
You're off
censoring
in
yourself.
fantasy land. What are you
Yeah.
doing?
Right.
This is how I talk. It's but what are you doing with your time?
Yeah.
Like, like
I
you
have
know what
found
you.
I have found just to take a little bit of a different approach, I have found rating the not I'm not talking indie films. I have kind of like made it a rule that I
Yeah,
won't ever rate an indie film if I don't really have something for it, like it was really something special.
yeah.
Um I do that because I don't ever want to be seen as like biased, but I share everybody's work and stuff. So,
Oh,
you know,
I yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, there's a certain bias or like showing favoritism when you're in like that type of position of power. See, I'm in no position of power, so it doesn't matter what I say.
I don't want to be in no
Uh,
power, man. I really just want to sit here do my job, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'll make another movie after this one, to be honest with you.
yeah, you were saying that. That's
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that's a crime, but I mean, you got to do you. I don't. Yeah,
I don't know what's gonna happen, but you've been through that before where you had to take a break.
very true. Yeah, that the project before I quietly announced my retirement to a handful of people was yeah, it got me very burned out. But yeah, I mean, you know, just yeah, I can't stay away. Every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in
Yeah, I want to
into
get
the
on
big
the
days.
more marketing and consulting type stuff. I wouldn't mind speaking at
Yeah.
like a panel or something or anything like that, but like I have a couple projects I'm going to produce after Ombus that I it
Okay.
doesn't take me any effort to go out and film. So,
You're just
those
putting
are
your energy somewhere else. Like,
yeah. And then
yeah.
I've been wanting to write like a filmmaker's how-to guide with like pictures and things and little bios about how I did this and like how you could do it and stuff. But like a normal, I don't know, like one of those good ones and with good coloring and all that. So
Yeah,
that's
that would be cool.
I love art. I don't know if you noticed that about me. Like my photos, my videos, everything's so vibrant. It's like overly vibrant.
Yeah, you're not afraid of the saturation. I like that. That's
Yeah.
very whatchamacallit. Trying to think of like somebody who uses like a lot of like good color like that. The only thing that's coming to me is like Into the Void.
Mm.
Is it Enter the Void? Into the Void?
No,
Someone in the
I don't
comments
know.
correct me.
Yeah, now I
Um,
don't know.
yeah, but where are we going with all of that?
Well, just the
Like,
saturation and all that, the
yeah,
coloration of the filming and stuff. Like I really got into it after Star. You know, when you were
okay,
reading that like chat GDP thing or whatever it is, or
yeah,
GPT, well, in there for some reason it lists the movie Star. Okay. And I don't
okay,
know if
yeah.
you know this about me, but I'm not a big fan of the movie Star. There's a good movie
What?
in there somewhere, yes, but it's not my good movie that I wanted.
Okay,
Yeah,
is this another one that's gonna get like the recut treatment then? Because
I did do a recut of
oh, you
it. I
did.
have I years ago, and I have never released it.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I didn't realize
Um,
there was. Yeah, this is
there
an
was
interesting. Yeah.
there was just some ending work that I had to finish up on because I was redoing the credits, I think, on that one. And yeah, every time I do an interview, like I get asked this every now and then, what about Star? Or like he's literally right there right now.
Oh, get out. Yeah.
Yeah, he's in a corner of my office, next to a cat toy. Okay, so I mean that's what happened to him. So,
How
but
funny. That's yeah.
you know what made that movie not my favorite is the experience of making it. It was not a pleasant experience.
Um, that's a yeah. It's a bummer when something like that colors the project.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
yeah,
upon any like rewatch, like other people can watch it and enjoy it, but
oh yeah.
yeah, I get that where it's like you yourself when you're watching it, you're like,
Now, have
"Nah."
you've seen Star? You had to have seen Star, right?
Yeah, we still have
The
the wiggly
ears?
bobber. Yeah,
Yeah, from the
yeah,
premiere, right? Yeah.
yeah.
That was cool. That was a cool thing. But
Yeah.
Star is just one of those films that I don't think it knew what it wanted because it was like three separate films like merged into one, and I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like there isn't anything wrong with that. I mean, look at I know it's not a movie, but like Stranger Things, where it's like it's three separate like types of movies layered on top of each other. You have like the little kids are having themselves in ET. The teenagers are in like some kind of a like monster movie, and then the parents are in some kind of government conspiracy movie.
Okay, we'll let you go with that. Uh, I will say there are, but in that rock, that solid piece of cement that is at the bottom of the ocean that is Star, in
Yeah,
that rock there is grain of things that are really well done, in my opinion. There are
yeah.
sections that are done very well. But again, knowing the history and the story behind making that film, it just wasn't. It was really supposed to be Ambas too. That was supposed to,
Oh,
yeah, like that was supposed to be a connector into Ambas 2 and then into like horrific evil monsters, but it didn't
I
work
could
right.
see that. Yeah. Okay.
In the
That's a
director in the director's cut that I did, it does show that because the theatrical cut of that film, and I think the release print, was not the one I was the most happy with, and
Yeah.
there was just nothing I can do to fix it, unfortunately, at the time because it was on a short release, which isn't
Mhm.
something I recommend you do to yourself, is put something on a release date. But
Yeah. It's-
sometimes you only have so much money that will last you only so much time. You know what I mean? And you got to move
oh,
on.
yeah. Yeah. That's yeah. Working with time constraints.
Yeah, I
The
honest to you,
reality of it.
I'm looking forward to seeing this on a big screen. I'm looking forward to
Same.
watching the first one and then seeing the second one and seeing all the little nods that are in there.
That's
Um,
gonna be cool. Yeah.
for
Just to see
sure.
also like how far like you've
Oh
come as a
yeah,
filmmaker. Like,
yeah, yeah. It's gonna be impressive. I mean, I'm not talking just to stroke ego here. I'm just saying everybody came together here to do like a really amazing project. I mean, from the wardrobes to the scenes to the props. I mean, I know
yeah.
like what was it like working on just strictly blue screen? Because you didn't work on any like
Oh,
real practical sets, right?
yeah. It's funny because I know I've directed people on a green screen before, but I never got onto the green screen to do the acting. So this is like a new experience for me in that regard. Uh, it was a lot of fun. It really forces you to like use your imagination. You gotta like like actors say like you gotta get in the scene. You gotta like you have to be in it. Like you really have to like a couple dream levels deep, inception wise, like than than normal because you don't have anything from your atmosphere around you to pull from. So it's really cool to see like how like everybody dealt with that. Like Tim, like
Yeah, I was going
stepping
to
out
ask
of
you
the
about him.
elevator. Oh, what?
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. But go ahead and finish your thought. I want to
Oh,
ask you
just
about
like
Tim next.
yeah, because it's wild to me. Like he's able to like sit there and like step out of the elevator when there's like no actual threshold to cross over. And it's like that's
And
like
it looks
it may
real
seem as right, yeah, it
enough,
like may
real
seem as
enough.
simple as somebody taking a step, yeah, but he's in it. Tim is in
Yeah,
it.
yeah. What
Tim's
was it?
always in it.
What? Yeah, it was this one of the first times you worked with him, or was this like the only
Acting
time?
together, yes. Like we had done some project years ago together that never came to fruition, but I should see if I could dig up the old footage. It was a buddy of mine had a script and it was for a short and we were working on it at UB and Tim was kind enough to like come out and do a song and dance number.
Oh, a song and
And
dance,
yeah, not
not
like a
practical.
rehearsed song and
Oh,
dance, but
okay.
um but Tim was just, just very kind with his time and his performance, and I feel like it would be worth digging if it's still around, digging that up for him. But
I thought you
yeah,
guys were great together. Some of the most
I thought so
professional
too.
people
Yeah,
I met, on that film. Not, I worked with Tim before several times. I haven't worked with him in
yeah.
years, and this film really feels like a true back to form. And I will say that I don't want to spoil anything, but
Hmm.
Tim helps create my favorite slime creature in the whole movie. I'll just say
That's yeah.
that. That is
Okay,
very ambiguous, right? That's ambiguous enough.
I feel like that's ambiguous enough.
Yeah.
And he's just just a little bit more praise for Tim. He's just always so good whenever he's on screen, like those early performances. Um, And a couple, I'm trying to think of like a couple other things. So, like I said, like having watched that long list of like Buffalo movies, the occasional like shorts too, Tim pops up, and it's always a delight whenever he pops up on screen.
I know. I worked with him on Ombus One. He did Homicidal Vengeance with me. He did Prisoners of
Yes.
the Dead. Like all the stuff that made like my career in the beginning. Like the stuff later on, stars there. But Fang is more noticed than Horrific Evil Monsters is. And then you still
Oh,
look at like Ambus is still the number one that I'm known for. Prisoners is like number two, and Gore surprisingly is like number three.
get
So
out.
yeah, yeah, Gore. I'm
Yeah,
actually surprised my own self about that one. But and that's a tough film to watch. Have you seen that one?
we have. Yes.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
scene where his somebody's head gets like cut open with like a drill motor.
Yeah.
That like that was pretty intense.
That was, yeah. Because you need to have watched Gore in order to understand Pigman versus Gore.
Oh Lord, here
Or
we
was
go,
it Gore
trying to find a
versus
timeline.
Pigman?
No, no, it was Gore. It was Pigment versus Gore,
Okay,
and
yeah.
that director just recently passed, Jason Mager. He
Yeah.
passed. Yeah. Did you know him?
I did, yes. I had auditioned for Pigman. I did not get the part.
Oh
Not as
God.
Pigman, as victim.
Shame on Jason, but we can't curse him because he's not here to defend himself. All
That's
right,
true. But yeah,
he made his own decision directing.
yeah. But he was, yeah, he was, yeah, he was another one that was just like in Buffalo making movies, like doing what like we all love, like doing what he can. Just yeah,
I don't think he was as well known as some of the names that float out there right
yeah.
now. He was big in the like early, oh, excuse me, the mid 2000s, like 2010, 2011, 2012, and then he did
Okay,
the Family
yeah,
Life, and then he just dropped off, you know.
yeah. Which happens.
Yeah, it does.
We're
He went
adults. We have responsibilities.
and he wanted family. You know, there's no money in film. So I mean like yeah, well, I mean for like
Yeah,
creators, the actors, some crew, they can get paid, but like the
yeah,
people that are producing it often don't.
yeah. To
Uh
bring up our former God rest her soul as well, Anne Marie. She used to
oh yeah.
give a what is it called where you have like a preliminary meeting with somebody. Anyway,
Okay.
um, in this meeting, she would tell people, who want to be a part of the roster of the talent agency in Syracuse, New York. Again, at the time, we're talking like, again, like the 2010s. So she would tell people, like, listen, you have to look at this as a hobby that pays. You're not getting famous. You're not going to be making a lot of money.
Or any.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Sorry, I didn't mean to add that in there. Just a little
Well,
extra.
yeah, because I mean, to a point, it's true. I mean, there's like a handful of things that would come out like every year when it comes to like commercial work in the area. Well, at the time, I mean, now like things pick up. Like that's I think the one thing that we didn't really touch on when talking about the Buffalo film scene is that it is slowly growing.
Oh yeah, I agree with
Uh,
that.
yeah, because we have now I think like two studios in the area. We got Buffalo Filmworks, the Avenir Sin to what's his name's blanking out his name. The lexicon is down. But so it's attracting a lot of work. I mean, yeah, there's more and more things happening in Buffalo, which is really good to see.
Yeah.
And yeah, I have no other. I mean, I'm not on any of these things, so I have nothing else to say about it. It's just very
Okay.
nice to see,
No,
and
it's
it's
fair
nice
to
to
hear.
see
It's fair,
posts.
man. It's fair
Yeah,
because you follow it. I mean, sometimes it's so in your face you can't but help yourself to take a gander. And I mean, it's like internal
yeah,
politics almost in a sense, you know. But
like a
I will say that moving
oh
past that,
yeah.
um,
I keep circling back to it. I'm sorry.
no, you're fine, man. And I mean, you got a lot to say on it. You did say right in the beginning that you had a lot to say on it, and it's fair. There is so much to say, but the I am impressed with the growth my own self, and not just the growth in the sense of how big the community's gotten, but how professional the community has gotten. Do you understand? Like you got grips,
Yeah.
you got people not like when I started, I had a friggin' a broomstick with a very small like muzzle thing and then the microphone at the end of it to make
Yeah.
to stop the wind from blowing when I was straight up. It was like it was as I don't want to say the phrase ghetto because that's not the proper phrase, but it was it was the most
Ramshackle?
yes. I think that's the best way to say
I
it.
don't know.
You know, when
Yeah,
you're
it's
when you're a young filmmaker, or just like a guerrilla filmmaker, you don't need, um, I'm so sorry this keeps happening. You don't need, uh,
money.
monitors and stuff like
Oh,
that. You just need, well, you don't need money either, too, right?
yeah.
But
Well, I mean,
it helps.
it
Um,
definitely helps. It's one of those man, yeah. I feel like you could definitely when you make that book, you should have like a separate chapter just for like advice, as if you were talking to like your 20-year-old self. It's like okay, young filmmakers, you're gonna go out and you're gonna do X, Y, and Z.
I
Here's
probably
my
would
advice for that.
I probably like, pardon the expression, but I think we're both gentlemen here. I would probably kick myself in the nuts, to be honest with you, and say, don't pursue
Just don't do it.
filmmaking. Don't do it. Do not do it. Do not waste your time, your ambitions in life, anything. Don't do it. And I've had great opportunities at times, man. Like we're almost to 1 million followers on YouTube. That's authentic.
That's incredible. That's
That's
yeah.
not like
That's
purchases. Um, and the key to that is starting yourself off by marketing your most viewed videos. And
smart. Yeah.
it'll eventually start to grow, and then eventually it grows and grows and grows. Um,
So, what is
yeah,
one piece of advice that you would have for? I mean, aside from the swift kick,
yeah.
what's a piece of advice you would have for like a filmmaker?
Well,
Well, I mean, like, yeah, somebody who's just
yeah.
starting out, not
I, I
like
would I
call
would
Scorsese and give him a piece of advice.
I would say you've got to be committed and you got to love the commitment. Okay? Because if
That's
you're not
good.
committed to this, and like I know back in the day when I was a young filmmaker, I knew filmmakers that would just cancel a shoot and all their actors would be like there already. And it's like, well,
No.
like, hello, you can't just do that. People make arrangements and stuff like that.
Yeah, the people
And
call off work.
yeah,
They're
yeah,
setting aside like
people
their
are
one free day
passionate
out of
about this.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So,
And I've
I
actually
rem
yeah been there.
I remember, somebody uh, picking their family, which is totally fine, by the way. A director, this was, picked their family, but left the set completely unmanaged. You know what I mean? So
I
the
do.
person
Yeah.
left, and no one knew what to do. No one, I mean, were we still shooting? Were we not shooting? Is it wrapped, or what was the deal with that? So,
Yeah. And I think that's one of the things like also to jump on your piece of advice that I think it's missed when it comes to this level of filmmaking is like you said the amount of commitment that's needed and endurance and the amount of punishment one can take.
yeah, yeah,
Because we're not saying that like family isn't important, but you can easily just look ahead when it comes to scheduling and
yeah.
just
Prepare
yeah,
yourself, you know,
exactly. Put it in the
and
schedule. Plan ahead.
you
That's it.
you you know what? He was ever in his right. That person was in his right to go and aid his child, but the child had a cough.
Oh,
Okay, it
child.
was yeah, it was a
I'm thinking
common.
it's a family reunion.
No, no, it was a common cold that the person ended up having, and it was way blown out of proportion, and the guy just left, which was understandable because he heard emergency, you know, but like, I mean, I just think back to that because I don't want people to think that me, like, I would be unprofessional in that fashion. Like, if I had emergency, people know there is somebody to go to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a protocol put in place, and that's
Yeah,
yeah. Again, like I
yeah,
think these are things that I could attest do not get taught in school. Not the one I attended. Maybe now.
mm,
I don't know. I don't attend there anymore. But they didn't at the time. And I just very small, easy things to miss that seem like common sense when you say it out loud. It's like, oh
mm-hmm,
yeah, of course. Why wouldn't you do that? It's like because you didn't think of it ahead of time. That's why. And then an emergency happens, and you're left. you know, standing around going like, well, now what?
Right. Right.
Yeah, yeah, it's not as easy to think of these things until they happen. Like yeah, it's running a small business,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's
Yeah, it really is.
you're constantly going to get surprised, and every single rule that you've ever come across is because at one point they didn't have that, and they're all like, "Oh, you know what we should do? We should make a rule that X happens when Y takes place."
I want to ask you a question. And this
Okay.
is, what is your favorite scene to have ever shot in your entire career as a filmmaker? What scene would you say that is?
Oh, putting me on the
And make sure you
spot.
make sure you name the movie too,
Okay. Ah, man, this is tough.
or a short, whatever you did, of course.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go with the paper rock scissors scene from Couple in the Woods. Just as a self plug, but also just if I had more time to think about it, I might think of something else. But one, because it's me and my wife doing a bit that like we would actually do. It's just like it's something we actually do that we put into the movie, and we
Yeah, that's what
thought
I
it,
like about you guys working together. You guys like you like in formation almost, you know what I mean? Which is great.
right? Yeah, and it's one of I think the few like inside jokes that translates outside of just like the nation of two. That's me and Sarah.